welcome to
Learn English fast.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, your favorite place to grow your English and grow your mind.
Hi, friends. It's great to have you here. I'm Sarah, your co-host, and as always, I'm joined by the amazing Henry.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. And hey, if you're new here, welcome to the community. If you've been with us before, welcome back. Today's episode is a really exciting one.
Yes, we're diving into a topic that's going to change how you think about learning English forever.
We're talking about rewiring your brain for English learning. That's right, training your brain to actually become better at learning and using English.
Now, don't worry. It's not about becoming a robot or doing something complicated. We're going to explain everything step by step in simple English.
Exactly. We'll talk about how your brain works when you learn a language, what might be stopping you from improving, and how you can create new brain habits that make English easier and more natural.
And the best part is, you don't need to study more. You just need to change how you learn. That's what brain rewiring is all about.
Yes. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, or maybe take us with you on your walk or your commute.
Because we've got 45 minutes of great conversation, useful tips, and real motivation coming your way.
Let's get started. How does your brain actually learn a new language? What's going on in your head when you try to speak English?
Let's find out.
Okay, let's start with the basics. What's actually going on in your brain when you learn English or any language?
Great question. So, when you learn a language, your brain is building new connections, what scientists call neural pathways. It's like creating roads in your brain.
I love that image. Imagine your brain is a big map. Every time you hear a new English word, your brain tries to build a little road to remember it. If you keep using that word, the road becomes bigger and stronger.
Exactly. But if you don't use that word, the road kind of disappears over time.
That's why repetition is so important. The more you use English, the stronger your language roads become.
And not just any repetition, active repetition. That means speaking the word, writing it, hearing it in a sentence, not just memorizing from a list.
Right, because your brain doesn't like boring things. It remembers better when there's emotion, fun, or surprise.
Which brings us to something important, your mindset. Many English learners think, I'm not good at languages or I'm too old to learn. But that's just not true.
That's called a fixed mindset, believing that your abilities can't change. But your brain is actually flexible. That's where we introduce the idea of a growth mindset.
Yes, a growth mindset means you believe you can improve through effort and practice. Mistakes are okay. They're part of the process.
Think of children. They make so many mistakes when they're learning to speak. They say things like, I go to the park, but no one laughs. We know it's normal.
Exactly. But adults often feel ashamed or afraid to make mistakes. That fear actually stops the brain from learning.
That's right. When we're nervous or stressed, our brain goes into what's called a fight or flight mode. Learning shuts down. We focus on protecting ourselves, not growing.
So step 1 in rewiring your brain is this: be kind to yourself. Understand that making mistakes is not failure, it's learning.
And science supports this. There are studies showing that people who believe they can grow, who stay positive and keep trying, actually learn better and faster.
It's not magic, it's how the brain works. Your attitude affects your brain's ability to build those English roads.
So, let's summarize. When you learn English, your brain creates new pathways. The more you practice, the stronger those pathways get. But your mindset, the way you think about learning, plays a huge role too.
And don't worry, we'll talk about how to use all of this to your advantage later in the episode.
All right, coming up next, we'll dive deeper into how your brain changes and what rewiring really means.
Stay with us, you're doing great.
All right. So now that we understand what happens in the brain during language learning, let's talk about this big word, rewiring. What does that actually mean?
Good question. Rewiring your brain means creating new connections and even changing old habits in your brain. Scientists call this neuroplasticity.
Oh, neuroplasticity. Sounds fancy, right? But don't worry. It's actually very simple. It just means that your brain can change and adapt throughout your life.
That's right. Your brain is not a fixed machine. It's more like clay. You can shape it. And every time you practice English, you're shaping your brain just a little bit more.
Here's an example. Let's say you always say, I go store, instead of, I go to the store. If you keep saying it the wrong way, your brain thinks that's the right pattern.
But if you correct yourself and keep practicing the right way, I go to the store, your brain starts to build a new connection. That's rewiring.
Exactly. The old path gets weaker and the new one gets stronger. You're telling your brain, hey, this is the new way now.
And it's not just grammar or vocabulary. You can also rewire your brain to feel confident in English, to enjoy the process, or to stop feeling embarrassed when you speak.
That's so powerful. Because a lot of learners think, I've always been shy, or I just can't think in English. But those are just habits of the brain. And habits can change.
Yes, think of it like this. Your brain is like a garden. Whatever you plant and water will grow. If you plant fear and doubt, that's what you get. But if you plant courage and curiosity, boom, you start growing confidence.
So true. And every time you do a little English practice, listening to this podcast, reading, speaking, thinking in English, you're watering the right plants.
And here's the cool part. The more you practice rewiring your brain, the easier it gets. It's like going to the gym. At first, it's hard, but after a while, you feel stronger.
That's what we want for our listeners. Not just to study English, but to become English speakers, inside and out.
So, to sum it up, rewiring your brain means changing how your brain works by doing things differently, consistently, and with a positive mindset.
And you don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up every day and practice in smart ways.
And speaking of that, up next, we'll talk about the most common mental blocks that stop learners from growing and how to beat them.
Don't go anywhere. All right, now let's talk about something that affects almost every English learner at some point. Mental blocks.
Yes, these are the invisible walls in your mind that stop you from learning or speaking freely. And the thing is, most learners don't even realize they have them.
Exactly. So today, we're going to name these blocks, break them down, and help you break through them.
Let's start with a big one. Fear of speaking. A lot of learners understand English but feel afraid to speak it. Why does that happen?
It usually comes from fear of making mistakes. People think, what if I say it wrong? Or, what if someone laughs at me?
But the truth is, making mistakes is how you learn. You can't get better if you don't try. Every fluent speaker made thousands of mistakes on their journey.
Absolutely. Mistakes are not failures. They're feedback. The brain learns through trial and error.
Another common block is the belief, I'm too old to learn. We hear this one a lot.
Yeah, but guess what? That's a myth. Studies show that adults can still learn languages very well. In fact, adults are often better at understanding grammar and using strategies.
You're never too old. You just need the right mindset and consistent practice.
Another big one, comparing yourself to others. Maybe you know someone who speaks better than you, and you feel discouraged.
Yes, but remember, everyone's learning journey is different. Some people have more time, more exposure, or more experience. That's okay.
Exactly. Compare yourself to your past self, not to others. Ask yourself, am I better than I was last month? That's what matters.
Another mental block is thinking, I'm just not good at languages. That's what we call a limiting belief. It's a story you tell yourself, but it's not true.
And guess what? That story can change. You can say instead, I'm still learning, or I'm getting better every day. That small change can help rewire your brain for success.
So, to recap, some of the most common mental blocks are 1. Fear of speaking 2. Thinking you're too old 3. Comparing yourself to others 4. Believing you're not good at languages.
And the good news is, you can overcome all of them. These blocks are not permanent. They're just habits of thinking. And just like with language, you can change them.
Coming up next, we'll talk about how to actually start rewiring your brain and building better habits for learning English.
Stick with us. This next part is where the magic happens. Welcome back. So far, we've talked about how your brain works, what rewiring means, and what mental blocks might be holding you back.
And now, it's time to take action. Let's talk about how to actually start rewiring your brain for better English learning.
Let's begin with something simple but powerful. Positive self-talk. The way you speak to yourself matters. A lot.
Absolutely. If you're always saying things like, "I'm terrible at English," or "I'll never get this," your brain listens. It starts to believe it.
But if you change your words to things like, "I'm improving every day," or "It's okay to make mistakes," your brain starts to feel safe and open to learning.
This is called affirmation. Try saying a few of these out loud every morning. "I am becoming confident in English. I enjoy learning new words. Every mistake helps me grow."
It might feel strange at first, but trust us, it works. Your brain needs encouragement, just like a child learning to walk.
Next step, create a language-rich environment. Surround yourself with English as much as possible, even if you're not actively studying.
Yes, change your phone language to English. Follow English-speaking YouTubers. Watch shows with subtitles. Listen to English music or podcasts.
Even putting sticky notes on things in your house, like mirror fridge door, can help your brain connect English to your daily life.
Another big one, consistency. You don't need to study for hours. Just do a little every day. Your brain loves small, regular habits.
Even 15 minutes of focused practice can make a big difference. Reading, listening, writing, or speaking. The key is to be active, not passive.
Here's something fun. Talk to yourself in English. Seriously. Describe what you're doing. "Now I'm making coffee. I will go to work soon."
Yes, you don't need a partner to practice speaking. You can be your own partner. Speak out loud or in your head. It still builds brain connections.
Another tip, celebrate progress, even the small wins. Did you learn 5 new words today? Amazing. Did you speak 1 full sentence? Fantastic.
When you feel good about your progress, your brain releases dopamine. That's a chemical that makes you feel happy and motivated. It helps you keep going.
And let's not forget this one. Relax and have fun. If you enjoy what you're doing, your brain remembers it better. Play games, watch funny videos, join conversations online.
So, to sum up, here are some ways to start rewiring your brain for English. 1. Use positive affirmations. 2. Surround yourself with English daily. 3. Practice a little bit every day. 4. Talk to yourself in English. 5. Celebrate small wins. 6. Have fun and stay relaxed.
You don't have to do them all at once. Start with 1 or 2 and build from there. The goal is to make your brain feel comfortable and curious, not stressed.
Exactly. And remember, your brain is listening. What you feed it, your words, your thoughts, your habits, becomes your reality.
All right, coming up next, we're diving into specific tools and techniques you can use to strengthen your English brain.
You're going to love this part. Let's get practical.
All right, we've talked about mindset, habits, and how to start rewiring your brain. Now it's time for the good stuff. Real tools and techniques you can start using today.
Yes, these are practical, brain-friendly ways to help you learn faster, remember better, and feel more confident using English.
Let's start with one of our favorites, shadowing. Have you heard of this?
Shadowing is when you listen to someone speak English, like in a podcast or video, and then repeat what they say right after, trying to match their speed and pronunciation.
It's like you're their echo. You're training your brain to connect listening and speaking at the same time.
Exactly. And it helps you build fluency, improve pronunciation, and train your brain to think faster in English.
Next up, spaced repetition. Sounds technical, but it's simple. It means reviewing new words or grammar at the right time. Not all at once, but spread out.
Apps like Anki, Quizlet, or Memrise use this method. They remind you to review a word just before you forget it. That strengthens your memory over time.
And it saves time. You don't need to study a list of 100 words every day. You just review a few at the right time, and your brain keeps them.
Another great tool is the I+1 method. It means learning something just a little more difficult than what you already know.
So, if you understand basic English, try reading short stories or watching easy videos that have a few new words. Not too easy, not too hard.
Yes, that way your brain is challenged but not overwhelmed. It's the sweet spot for growth.
Here's another favorite. Record yourself speaking. You can use your phone, just talk about your day, or answer a question in English.
Then listen to it. Don't judge yourself. Just notice what you said well and where you can improve. It's a great way to track your progress and build confidence.
Want to boost your vocabulary? Try this. Use a word map. Write a new word in the center of a page, then connect it to a sentence, a synonym, a picture, a memory.
That's so good. When you connect a word to multiple things, your brain remembers it better. It's like adding more glue to hold it in place.
Here's one more. Use English in real life. Write Instagram captions in English. Leave a YouTube comment. Join an online language exchange.
It doesn't have to be perfect, just use the language. The brain learns by doing, not just studying.
Let's recap some of these amazing tools and techniques. Shadowing spaced repetition. Use apps. I+1 method. Slightly challenging content. Record yourself speaking word maps. Use English in real-life situations.
You don't need to do all of these at once. Pick 2 or 3 that feel fun or interesting to you and start there.
And, most importantly, keep it consistent. Rewiring your brain is about what you do every day, not what you do once in a while.
Coming up next, we'll talk about how to stay motivated for the long term, even when things get tough.
Because, let's face it, learning a language takes time. But with the right mindset and tools, you can stay excited and keep moving forward. Welcome back. So far, we've covered mindset, brain rewiring, and practical tools. But there's one more piece of the puzzle.
Yes, and it's something many learners don't think about. Your lifestyle. The way you live each day affects how well your brain can learn.
That's right. Your brain isn't just a learning machine, it's a living part of your body. And it needs the right support to work at its best.
Let's start with sleep. Good sleep is so important for memory. When you sleep, your brain organizes what you learned during the day.
If you're staying up too late or not getting enough rest, your brain gets tired, and it's harder to remember new words or stay focused.
So try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Your brain will thank you.
Next up, nutrition. What you eat can fuel your brain. Foods like nuts, fruits, vegetables, and fish are great for brain health.
And don't forget to stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration can make it harder to think clearly. Drink water regularly, especially while studying.
Another key factor, movement. Physical activity, like walking, stretching, dancing, helps improve blood flow to your brain.
And guess what? Studies show that exercise can boost focus, memory, and mood, all helpful for language learning.
Here's a fun tip. Try listening to English while walking or doing chores. That way, you're combining movement and learning.
Love that. And let's not forget about mental health. Stress blocks learning. If your mind is full of worries, your brain can't absorb new information easily.
So take time to relax. Meditate, journal, take deep breaths. Make learning English a calm and enjoyable experience, not a stressful one.
To recap, here are some simple lifestyle factors that support your English learning brain. 1. Get enough sleep. 2. Eat brain-friendly foods. 3. Drink water. 4. Move your body. 5. Manage stress.
It might seem unrelated at first, but trust us, a healthy body helps you build a powerful brain for learning.
And when your brain feels good, learning English feels easier and more fun.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk about how to stay motivated for the long journey of mastering English.
Because yes, the journey is long, but it can also be exciting, rewarding, and even joyful. We've shared a lot of tips and science today, but sometimes the most powerful thing is hearing from someone who's been where you are.
Exactly. So let's share a few quick stories of real English learners who rewired their brains and changed their lives.
Let's start with Luis, from Brazil. He struggled with confidence for years. He knew grammar but couldn't speak fluently.
Then he started shadowing YouTube videos daily for just 15 minutes. He also began recording himself once a week.
6 months later, he posted his first video speaking English, and now he's hosting a travel vlog in English.
Incredible. Then there's May, from China. She always said, "I'm too shy to speak English."
She started using positive affirmations, joined a small English book club online, and slowly began contributing to the discussions.
Now she gives weekly presentations at work, in English. She says her brain feels unlocked.
And finally, Ahmed from Egypt. He used to get frustrated when he forgot words all the time.
But then he discovered spaced repetition apps like Anki. He reviews a few flashcards every morning. Now his vocabulary has doubled in just 3 months.
These learners aren't superheroes. They just made small, smart changes and kept going.
And if they can do it, so can you.
Your brain is ready. Your journey is unique, but you are not alone.
All right, friends, we've covered a lot today. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to review the key takeaways from this episode.
Here's what we hope you remember. Your brain can change. You can rewire it to become better at learning English no matter your age or level. Mindset matters. Replace negative self-talk with positive, supportive thoughts. Common mental blocks, like fear, comparison, or self-doubt, can be broken with the right mindset and habits. Start rewiring your brain by creating small, daily habits like talking to yourself, affirmations, and immersing yourself in English. Use powerful tools like shadowing, spaced repetition, and recording yourself to boost fluency and memory. Support your brain with a healthy lifestyle. Sleep, nutrition, movement, and stress management all play a role.
And don't forget, real people just like you are already doing this. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent.
One small step every day creates a powerful brain ready for English success.
Stay with us, because in the next episode, we'll dive into daily routines that make English learning effortless.
Until then, keep speaking, keep believing, and remember, your brain was built to learn. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of English Learning Podcast. We hope you found it helpful and inspiring.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to like and share with your friends who are also learning English.
We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment or message and tell us, what mental block are you working on, or what technique will you try first?
Your stories and questions help us make the podcast better and help more learners like you.
So keep practicing, keep rewiring that brain, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care and happy learning.